Hello, everyone, and welcome to the brand new episode of Engineering 101, your little black book to get through engineering in just 4 years alive and thrive. Hi, I am Abhilasha Gupta, the head of student representatives of SWE. We present to you interview series where we interview some of the most amazing and talented girls of the graduating batch of Cummins College of Engineering. Today, we have with us Pratim Bhosale, who is a graduating student of Cummins College of Engineering. Let's look at her journey of engineering and what her future plans are.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And so let me just start from the beginning, basics. What made you choose engineering and when did you decide that you want to become an engineer?
So to be really frank, I belong to that set of people जिनको engineering कभी करनी ही नहीं थी. So I had like typical dreams from being an actor to being a chef to being a media reporter. That is the kind of dreams
Wow.
I still had till like 10th standard. But then I wasn't ever sure कि मुझे क्या करना है. Like I never had that stand or clarity you can say कि भाई नहीं बाबा I will stick to this. Like how most of the students by that time they know if they want to take commerce, they want to take arts. But in my case, I was like always confused. And
Hmm.
in my case, I have an elder brother who by that time was doing science and he was pretty great in that. Like he was excelling in be it maths, be it physics, be it chemistry. So then my parents were like, we have this tried and tested formula. So at least if कुछ नहीं तो इसी में डाल देते हैं इसको. So that is how I chose science to be like my 12th standard till my 12th standard. And then even again on my CET, I scored pretty much not that good, like not bad, like a mediocre score. So then
Hmm.
I knew I could get into Cummins, but I never knew that Cummins was like such a good college or like. And obviously, I am like a total socialite and an extrovert person. So listening to the fact that it's like a all girls school, like college, it was like a bit of a moment for me. So that's how my
I think
school
that
life was.
most of us have faced,
Oh
that
yes,
moment of all
yes,
good.
yes, yes, yes.
So do you remember the first day of college? How was it like?
Uh, I remember 2 days actually. I can't make out which one was the first day out of it. So like till 12th and all of that, we are used to our parents dropping us everywhere. Like bike to chalane ko dete nahi hai, like on the main road. But then your parents drop you, or else you have some or the other transport, like your friends drop you. So I remember my dad just joking around that once your fourth year, like your engineering starts, you have to use the public transport. So I'm like, no, 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 he must be just joking. He won't leave his only, like his daughter, like just on the road. So I remember that day, like we just went and we stopped in between the road. And he's like, okay. I'm like, college is not. He's like, no, you have to take the bus from here and then go to college. So that whole thing was like, okay. I literally went into the bus and I'm like, I told every person sitting in the bus कि I'm sitting for the first time in the bus. And another incident that I clearly remember about college is on the first day only, I think. So the admission process was still going on, right? So I remember my dad was there, and then we asked one of the girls, "Ki, how is Cummins College?" She was like one of the seniors. So we gave her two options actually. I won't name the college, but I asked her like XYZ college in Cummins, which would you choose? It's pretty famous college in Kothurud. I don't need to tell you. So then, then she's like, see, depends. पढ़ाई करनी है तो कमिंस में आ जाओ, टाइम पास करना है तो उस कॉलेज में चले जाओ. So that was something like stuck with me throughout my 4 years.
That's nice. So, what was your first year like? What all activities, clubs, what did you take part in?
Uh, First year was like all about getting to know the atmosphere and the college and the whole engineering term. Like, and you do all sorts of mistakes in your first year. First year is just about making mistakes. Like, bhai, this is something you don't have to do. This is something you shouldn't have done. Uh, be it even your basic methods of studying. We are so stuck with our initial ways of learning that we still continue through that, even in your first year.
Right.
And then when it hits you, ki, boss, this is not how the way you should have done it. That's when you
Right.
actually start learning. That's the time when your engineering really starts, I feel like.
True. I agree. So, a lot of us make a lot of mistakes, and looking back, you think that, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Something should have been better. What was those moments for you?
Okay. So I do have regrets and like I do feel like I shouldn't have done those, but in then it's like okay, good, I did those. That is why I know okay, bhai, these are the mistakes that have made me choose the other way around. So one major thing throughout my first year that I used to follow was just after my college. You remember our college is like pretty long. Like the college hours are like something 6 hours minimum, right?
Right.
So just after my college used to get over, I used to run to the reading hall and the library, and I used to study. Literally just after the college, I used to take those huge uh, textbooks that you used to get, reference books. I used to make notes. I used to sit till 6:30 in the evening,
Wow.
and then I used to pack my bags and I used to go home. So that's how I studied for at least 2 3 months. But when my grades came out, like for my first semester grades came out, they were disastrous. Let me tell you, and I was shocked, like shocked to my core. Ki, how did this happen? Like I have studied my like I have studied so much, and how can this happen? So
Right.
then like I spoke to some of my people, like some of my friends, like seniors, and that's when I came to know it's not about studying everything. It's not about covering everything that's there. It's about whatever you're studying, just study like the basic and the core that is required. The other part you are going to learn like slowly. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is one of my major mistakes, like regrets you could say. But that's fine. I just learned through it, you can say.
So, what are those times that you missed the most in college that you
Oh,
enjoyed?
that is like well, our festivals are like a huge thing. I'm gonna miss like almost my whole life. Be it Gandhar, be it innovation, be it the teachers day. You literally have so much fun. And then canteen. Like canteen is one thing I'm going to miss a lot. Like seriously, canteens, be it the dosa, be it the Chinese, it beats every college's canteen. Like that is one thing I'm really gonna miss. Yes,
True.
so I won't say any lectures, okay, so please don't expect that.
So, were you a part of any of the college clubs that are there?
Oh yes. I was a panel member like in third year. I'm not sure if third year or
Right.
second year. I think second year. Oh yeah, second year. I was an assistant Marathi editor. So
Wow.
I did have a little bit of background of writing poems and all that. So I just tried my luck at the whole voting process and being elected and nominated. But then yeah, yes, like it is such an awesome experience that we have in our college. Like the whole college votes for you, be it being elected or not elected. That the amount of confidence that you get from it is awesome. Like nothing can beat that. Like being elected and then you have to go on that stage and everyone is clapping for you and then you get a rose from that teacher. It is like one of my most memorable moments.
That's so nice.
Yes.
So, over the past 4 years, you've done so many courses in college, so many subjects you've had. Which was your favorite?
Uh, okay, this is gonna take time. But okay, so there was this design patterns course that we had in third year, and we had OOPS, like object oriented programming. Both of them were taken by Madhura ma'am. Like those two courses, I can say I've enjoyed the most during my whole 4 years. But then that is more because the way ma'am taught it. Like she is one of the perfectionists that I've ever met, and the way she used to structure the whole learning process and everything, there was never a moment like she used to get stuck. She did not have an answer for something. That she was just smooth. That is one like I'll never forget those classes.
So, what about your internships and projects? Like, could you tell us more about it?
Oh yes, internships. I started doing internships from my second year itself. Like initially, it was just that mindset. Ki bhai, I want exposure, exposure. Everyone. Then that there's this peer pressure that your friends are also doing internships. Even you want to do them. So there's this one of our professors only helped me connect with one of his like colleagues, like who's from the industry, and then he had a startup that he had started, and so he wanted some students who could help him, be it with small codes or small logic parts. So basically, it was more of the JavaScript web development side. So that's how
Mhm.
I got like started with my first internship, and that experience made me more greedier towards the whole internship exposure. Like after that, then you have this third year internships that we have in Cummins. So then, by like God's grace, by luck, and whatever mehnat I had done like before for my third year, I got into UBS. Like I cracked the aptitude, the interviews. So there, it was a summer internship, like a 2.5 months internship. That was like a life changing experience, literally life changing experience. Be it the people you meet, be it the way they work, be it the way you handle yourself, there is a lot to learn. And I can say, like, no college can give you that experience. Not because the college lacks in something, but it's just not possible. Like, one thing is that when you go in internships, people treat you as equal. Like a person who's a VP of the company, he'll still treat you as an equal, although you are an intern. So, and you have ownership of the things that you do, be it the small code, be it the small project, whatever it is, you own it. So you are answerable to your mistakes or whatever achievements you do, you are answerable to that. So that is
Right.
one thing that internships help you to understand. And obviously, if there's stipend, it's like just icing on the cake. You get a good amount of pocket money.
Yeah, that's true. So, what have you done in the past few months? Staying at home, lockdown, quarantine?
Oh, so first of all, it was like a very depressing kind of start for everyone. Like people who love to go out. Like I am personally a huge foodie and I love to visit cafes. But then when everything stopped, like we all had to take out some time and understand what is happening with us. So yeah, it's like I literally can't say wasted, but then I spent like 15 days just gathering my thoughts, like what had to be done. And one thing is, my fourth year project was like almost done by that time. So we had, so the four of us in my team, we had this thing that we wanted to take our project to the next level. Like we did not want to stop at the point of just it being like a fourth year project. So we applied to different competitions during the lockdown, like the project competitions. Some of them,
Mm-hmm.
although we had applied like during our college days, but then those internship, like those projects got cancelled. But then luckily they were again opened up, and so we applied for those competitions, and we worked. We worked through our. I have worked through my whole lockdown period, be it first on my project, and when the project got over, like luckily the hard work paid off and we ended up winning those competitions. Like that was one of the best things, like best boosters you could say. And then we still had 2 months, like this is like a whole 4 month long like vacation that we got. So then kya kare, like I do not, literally my parents would have not let me waste the whole time, and I did not even want to lose my touch over the coding or the whole technical side. So I started doing an internship with my project company, the company which I had partnered with to do my project. So these guys had a really cool project regarding the COVID-19 situation. Like they are working right now on robots that can like that can understand if there is the COVID virus in wastewater. Basically, all
Wow.
IoT and all robot, like everything cool, in short. So I interned there, like all the four of us, we interned there for like 2 months basically, and so there was a cool period. We again got stipend, so it was nice. Yeah, that's how I
So,
spent it.
so what was your first professional working day like?
Uh, it was chaotic. It was chaotic, and I got to learn a lot. Like when you have to take in so many things that are around you. You come with that basic college girl whole mindset in your mind, and then you're just blown off. Like to some point, people people don't care. People don't care what is your grade, what is your CGPA, what language you know. People don't care. They just want the work to be done, and you'll be recognized once the work is done. Like that is something really cool. So on my first day, I remember we had just the building was pretty huge, pretty much like vast, and it was very posh, and like there was free food, there was free coffee. So we went in, and then everyone was so neat and tidy. Each one of them, like be it the HR, be it the people working, the what do you say, the discipline they had, that shook me off. And that is something like, be it their hair, everything was very tidy. The way they spoke with each other, like how we speak very rashly and like nothing like that, very soft spoken. So my first day was basically about like just taking in the whole atmosphere and the whole process.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So what are your plans?
Mm, that is like a very long short question, to be frank. Right now, I'm a software engineer, and I'm working with UBS right now. So yes, down the lane, like in 5 years, I don't know what I'll be doing, but I just know that whatever I'll be doing, I'll be good at it. And personally, there'll be a lot of growth in me because I am seeing that right now, be it discipline, be it how do you treat others, how to be professional, how to keep your professional and personal life different. Those are the things that I am learning right now. And yes, by 5 years, I am pretty sure that I will be one of them who can like say, okay, I am on a good path right now and doing something that is helpful to me as well as the society on some part.
That's nice, really. So do you think that college experience is important for engineering, or the newfound concept of learning everything online is great?
Uh, I don't know about others, but for me personally, every person should have a college experience because college is just not about learning technical stuff or your academic stuff. College is about personal development. Basically, college teaches you how to interact with different people, how to be tolerant towards their ideas, and be open to criticism. Like you will be rarely told you're wrong in your house. Like it will just be like, okay, fine, just do whatever you want. But when you go to college, you'll come up, like you'll meet different people who are not of your same views. And when that clash happens, like how are you going to take in, or how are you going to react? That is what college teaches you. Also, college teaches you like how to take in so much pressure. Like basically everybody knows that there is so much pressure nowadays, be it on the college students. There are different exams, there is so much extracurricular activities, plus then you have to do internships. There are so many things. So yeah, college just teaches you how to be a better person and how to be ready for the world. So I think
Right.
college is, and yes, like the online courses are really good, but they are never going to give you a personal experience of like sitting with a group, learning in a group, co-learning, coexisting. That is something an online course is never going to give you. So
I
college
agree. I
is
agree.
very important.
So what are the lessons that you're taking back from Cummins College, and How is it going to go with you ahead in your journey future?
Uh, so Cummins was like a life-changing experience for me. And not because the placements are good or the teaching faculty is good, but the very fact and the very basic notion that people have regarding girls' college. Cummins truly thrashes that notion. Like there are so many, you can say there are so many blind things said, like you can't, if you come from a girls' college, you won't be able to make it into the real world where you have to face men or you have to face the other gender. So all of that, when you actually come into Cummins, that is not the scene. Like I personally haven't seen a single girl who's graduated from Cummins who is like scared of the world or who can't take the world head on. You'll actually see the opposite thing. Like the personal development that you get during your 4 years, you're actually way ahead compared to the other students. Yes, there are a lot of things that can get better with the college. Like I won't say the learning hours are pretty good, like be it the 8 or 9 hours of learning. So yes, there is a scope for improvement, but I will never say that Cummins was not a part of my whole development, or it was like it was a huge change in my whole life that Cummins got. So
So
yes.
lastly, what is your advice for the juniors?
Yes. So I am just like what 2 years elder to you guys, but I won't say advice. I'll just tell you about what are the things that I myself learned and something that you can always take it. Like one thing is have a voice. It is very important that you have a voice, be it in your college or in future. Have a stand and own whatever you do. Own your mistakes, own your own your achievements, whatever it is, own them. Like you have to have that guts in future to say yes, I was wrong, and to digest when you do something wrong. And another thing is learn through the whole process. Just don't be very focused towards learning or towards your academic, or just don't be very focused towards the chilling part. Make it a whole process that you have experiences of all of these things, because frankly after these 4 years you're not going to get that experience, like be it taking part in these different activities or taking part in different groups. This is not going to happen later. So enjoy the whole process. And yes, like how Cummins is teaching us, how it's teaching women to be like a very important part in STEM and how to grow. Just take it forward with you. Like personally for me, I had this one senior. I'd like to name her. Her name is Snehal Pendarkar. Like she was my senior. she she was always there for me. Like whenever I used to have any issues, if I used to text her, she always had a smile on her face. Like even if she was going through issues in her personal life, she always made a point to like talk to me or help me throughout my process, motivate me. That is one thing I think you juniors, and I am doing it with my juniors, and you guys should take it forward, that we have to help our juniors or our peers to grow. And that is when we'll basically break the whole notion or the stigma regarding women don't help women to grow, or women are not very open, and all these whatever these stigmas are there in the society. I think that's how we're going to break them, and we are on that path right now, I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, we are. It was nice connecting with you. Thanks a lot, and we wish you all the best for everything in future.
Thanks a lot. I really love this initiative that Svia's taken up, and it's really cool that okay, it wasn't during our times, but at least our juniors are getting this whole experience of knowing from their seniors and knowing different perspectives, and it is pretty much cool. And keep it up, guys. All the best.